Hi guys, it's Brenda, and I am going to show you how to do the herringbone stitch. And if you'd like to do a baby blanket, I recommend that you have approximately 120 yards of the Jumbo 7 chunky chenille yarn. And this is a super easy stitch to learn. So I have my yarn and I've unraveled it to make it easier to knit. And I have my scissors, a measuring tape, and a lighter to connect the yarn. You don't have to use the burn method. You can use knots or sewing the yarn together. So I'm going to show you the cast on, a few rows of the stitches in a swatch, and then the cast off so that you're able to do a whole blanket. So I leave a little bit of a tail to tie a knot at the end. I cross the yarn over, take your thumb and your finger through to pull the working yarn through and make a slip knot. You can pull that smaller. I make them 3 finger widths for the cast on. I do my cast on and cast off a little bit bigger, and that way they don't aren't too tight and go round on you. These stitches are about 2.5 inches, and I'm going to make probably about 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. This pattern has been around forever. In about 2019 or 2020, a friend of mine showed me how to do it, and with chunky yarn. So now we are going to flip it over, and we're going to use these middle bumps. Now, whether you want to use the sides or the middle, either way works. You just take this middle part, put your finger and thumb through. I pinch it and pull it through on each stitch. The herringbone stitch does take more yarn than the regular knit stitch. I'll tell you that. And whatever pattern I do knit stitches borders. You don't have to, you can create it and just go do the pattern all the way back and forth on the ends. I do knit stitches on the ends. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Here we go. And we're going to do the knit stitch. And since we are going knitting from left to right, we are going to twist all of your stitches to the right and then knit them. So you twist it, pull your working yarn through, twist it, pull your working yarn through. You do want to do this with each stitch. Twist it to the right, and pull your yarn through. So knitting to the right, you twist to the right. And then we're at the end of our swatch, we're gonna knit. And I'll knit another one to start that. Now we're gonna twist to the left. Take the stitch, twist it, and pull the working yarn through. Twist to the left and knit as we're knitting to the left. And you will start to see the pattern form this way and then this way. Twist it and knit. And then we're going to knit the border. Knit the border again. You don't want to have your border stitches too large because they will stretch out quite a bit. So I keep them about the same size. And these are about 2 finger widths. So in comparison, that's about 1.5 inches. The cast on's about 1 inch larger. Okay, so twist to the right since we're knitting right. If I was gonna do a baby blanket, I would say cast on 24 because it does use more yarn and it's tighter. And then we're gonna knit our border. And to start the next row, we're gonna knit our border and twist to the left. With each stitch. And usually if I'm making a blanket, I will measure once I've gotten a few rows up to see where the width is to make sure it's where I want it to be. I never measure at the cast on base. Okay, and then I'm going to do a knit stitch. See how that pattern is forming. And since this is 12 stitches, it's 15 inches. So that tells me that 24 stitches would be a perfect 30 for me. I usually do 30 by 35 baby blankets. And we're gonna do one more row, twisting it to the right. Twist and knit. Twist and knit. And we're knitting to the right. So we're twisting to the right. Here's our last twist. And now I'm going to do the knit stitch. You can see it looks a little bit different. It looks more like the border or the cast on chain. So now I'm going to show you how to cast off. This is just a mini version tutorial. I'm gonna take the last loop and the second to the last loop, and I'm gonna take the working yarn and pull it through. And we're going to keep your, it's similar to a single crochet. We're going to keep one loop on our finger, take the second loop, pull the working yarn through. Continue doing that. Take the second loop, pull the working yarn through. Now we have one loop, take the second loop and pull it through. Take the second loop, pull it through, and continue on. See how it creates a chain there, just like on the bottom. Take the second loop, pull the working yarn through, and continue on. So there you go. There's your nice little swatch for the herringbone stitch. And if I was going to be doing this as a finished blanket, I would make a knot, trim it off, tuck it into the chain, and I would take a needle and thread and sew it through. And here you would cut your yarn, make a knot, put it through this, and cinch it tight. And then weave it in here. Since it's just a swatch, I hope that was helpful to you, and you can see how nice and lovely the pattern is. So happy knitting!